Down a bit. What up, everybody? Whoops. Let's see. How we doing on the volume? Give me a volume check. Make sure we're not overwhelmed on that music. Not even sure if you could hear the music or not, but I can. It's nice and soothing. So yeah, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys having a good, what is it? Labor Day weekend? Memorial Day? Labor Day? One of them things. Yeah, so Bitcoin up on the screen. Just, kind of checking out where we are here on this, this big Wyckoff accumulation, that we've been kind of keeping an eye on for quite some time now. So just kind of interesting to kind of get that perspective back, see where we are on everything. Okay, so the way this Wyckoff kind of works here is, you know, you have this initial swing high point, right, which was up here at the 60,000 high. You know, you had your all-time high that's out of the screen, 65. You dumped a little bit, and then this was your kind of rally lower high at 60k. Okay, so you had the 60k high low starting there. You had this initial nasty little dump down from 57 all the way down to basically 47, so a 10k dump. That found you some, you know, initial preliminary support. So right here you see the PS, okay? So this is your point of preliminary support, you know, initial, preliminary, initial, happening first support level, okay? And you could see we did kind of double bottom there, but it didn't hold, right? You then continued to sell off, and you came all the way down, and you finally had this, you know, the peak of the liquidations happened at 29,400. And that put in the SC. The SC is your selling climax. So think of that, right? This is the max point, the climax of the selling pressure. Okay, so we had our selling climax. We then kind of, you know, chopped up a little bit, found some overhead resistance, right? Some, you know, for one, you know, you get this just automatic recovery, and I'm gonna imagine from this point to this point, this is probably the 50. So from here to here is a 50% retrace. All right, why did I kind of initially think that? Well, for one, you get accustomed to being able to see 2 points, right? If I was a point here, whoops, I'm sorry guys, if I was a point there and I was another point down here, right, between these 2 points, where's my halfway point? Well, it's right in here. All right, that's all that happened there, right? We found that halfway point between those two discernible swing points. Okay, so this automatic rally of 50% retracement, yes, this is more of the swing high, but I was fibbing from our preliminary support, which is the beginning of the Wyckoff, right? Not necessarily this initial price action. Okay, so that's why I took this kind of double bottom. Look, if we zoom over, right, you can see that it did give us another kind of high point. So I fibbed it from here to get this as a 50. Anyways, coming back in. Okay, let me fix that with your screen here. We'll call that good enough. Okay, so we had this automatic rally, automatic recovery. Okay, so this is your Dow's theory, your 50% retracement. It's like a common retrace, right? When an asset retraces, it'll commonly, you know, when an asset dumps, it'll commonly retrace 50% of the way, or when an asset pumps, it'll commonly retrace 50% of the way. Okay, so it's called Dow's theory, right? All right, moving along. So we had this like automatic recovery, right? And then you kind of basically got it in a form of a somewhat of a double bottom here, but basically this is going to be your secondary test. Okay, so you have the, you know, that initial selling climax, and then you have the secondary test, right? So the secondary test, first the selling climax, then the secondary tests, and then you kind of had this bleed off all the way back into, again, like, yes, it almost was like a third double bottom, right? And a lot of people did not like this. I know that. I know this one right here. A lot of people on Twitter did not like that at all, because everyone was waiting for the floor to just fall out right here. And could it have? Of course. I mean, we had invalidation points. We said, look, it almost did it to us here, but immediately it was bought back up, right? We were only concerned with this as being back tested as resistance and then selling off, right? We never got that here or here. Both of the times when it hit this low, it immediately sprung back here and here. Okay, so none of that was really that bears really were taking over. Okay, so all we did was we got this last spring, and then we back tested the spring, that little neckline as support, and we rallied all the way up into what becomes the massive kind of torso area of the dragon, right? If this was our dragon kind of pattern, right? Depends where we anchor this. Let me bring this in here. It was probably more like this. So it depends where we anchor this, right? But depending on that, we have this torso area that we're calling here in this example the creek, right? But it's still just the torso of the dragon. Okay, so we rallied up right into the creek area. Okay, and that you know, that is basically where we're going up here, and we found these previous resistances. Okay, so we had this initial automatic recovery. We double top tested that twice as resistance, confirmed it, sold back off, and rallied right back up to that same point. Okay, so now here's that 1, 2, 3 strikes, and that last time it just broke, right? There was nothing left. Basically, you had overhead supply that was dwindling. You tested it too many times, right? There wasn't enough people willing at that point to sell Bitcoin at 40K. At this point, it's looking like up. So a lot of people are removing their sells here, right? And they're looking for maybe a higher markup in price. Maybe this next square up that was right here, right? This next square up at 50K. And sure as shit, we got it, right? So anyways, now this was basically testing that last point of supply, right? You broke up, back tested it as support now, and then you rallied, and here we are chopping sideways, just kind of figuring out where we are. But yeah, where we are is now is basically phase E. I mean, ideally this is where we are. So the way this works in a Wyckoff scenario is phase E is the markup. Okay, so I mean, if this is the markup, it's very likely that you're going to touch this last square up. Okay, so this last square up is pretty much coming. If this is to be true, then right here, basically, I keep marking it as this 56,800. I don't know. That's just the number that looks good to me. So that's basically what I'm saying. We're going from here is straight to there. Now, that doesn't mean we can't do some. Look, I keep talking about this. Darth Maul, right? So. Not a ton, but I guess I mentioned it. And I mean, you kind of see, we did kind of get it. Don't tell me that we didn't get a little Darth Maul action there a couple 8 hours ago, right? I mean, just saying. All right, look at that sucker. All right, look back at that picture. I don't know. Anyways, stop hunt, right? Stop hunt. I was expecting more like at this one, but I guess that would have been too extreme, right? To go all the way back to 50K and test it. It's just an obvious square up, right? We're gonna get back there at some point. Doesn't have to be now. Does not have to be now though. Okay. So let me fix this again. Okay. So here in phase E, we have this overhead white line now marked as this is basically what we're thinking is the next area of interest. Stupid thing. Next area of interest is up here at 56,800. And now when I move to the daily, watch this. Let me go to the daily for you. So we still have that area marked, and you could see, look how much more clear it is on the daily. You see that? See, it's just, I don't know. Is that, can you see it there? Right here's what I'm looking at, okay? It's just it's that last point before we just lost that big candle, right? We're back there. Look at that. Like we're going back to that point to square that level up. It just makes the most sense. This other level kind of already got squared up. If you see this dump, we came back and we went up to it. You see that? Bonk, with this before we sent this candle down. But nothing from there has ever made it back up, right? So this is the void, right? This is the void. And the void is basically right where we're in, okay? So from the top of this previous candle to that square up, we've never been back in there. And look, we just engulfed into it, and now we're just kind of hanging around, basically back testing the top of that previous top of this previous candle. Look at this. See that previous candle high wick up here on May 14th? 51,600. So I don't know, last time I was posting about BTC, I basically was telling you guys something. Watch out, there's some low time frame harmonic effery developing on low time frame. In order to invalidate, you have to get back above 51,000. Okay, so we're back above 51,000. This is how you invalidate. Boom. If this candle would not have occurred and you would have continued to sell off, this is basically kind of what you can still see it there. So, things like this were developing. We had to get rid of it, right? Bonk. And we really didn't. All we did was turn it into a dang cipher. Damn it. So this would be 786. So still have to get rid of it. Okay, so this kind of lines up with coming back to that 50K area I was talking about. Doesn't mean we got to do it. Again, a harmonic isn't anything until it gets to the D. If we get price action down here, we'll be like, okay, that cipher's back in play, right? But until this happens, it's just a potential. It's just an idea, right? It's just something that might happen. But we can't trade that leg of it, okay? We're not supposed to. We're only supposed to trade the D leg back up if we get it, okay? Because again, this could just mark right up, right from this point. Look at this square up. I mean, look back over here at this candle. Now that we're here, look how evident this becomes, right? I mean, to me it does. This is gonna get tapped, okay? 56,800. 56,800. Watch out. Yeah, I mean, look at this. You've engulfed and went sideways, and now again, mark, if this breaks above 52, you're gonna be on your way, okay? So 52, and I mean, even that, like, you've already broken like the previous, see what I mean? Like what was once your local resistance, you sold off, and you're right back there again, right? And above it, and holding above it, and you're green. So like, she's not looking like she wants to slow down anytime soon, right? So yeah, that's BTC. Okay, so next area of interest is the line in pink. Okay, so next area of interest 56,800. All right, let's move on to, this was just looking at it on different chart here. Same thing. Yeah, see, we had the same target plotted up there, 58,000. It's both of, it's just these square ups, right? It's this top of this zone. And ultimately, that's going to be some kind of deep retrace as well. Watch, if we fib this from the all-time high to the low, we got 57,100 at the 786. You're at the 618 right now. So look, you've completely exceeded and hit and went through the golden zone. Okay, next is your deep retrace, and that's what you have above you. Okay, so you have that deep retrace 786, 886 level. That's between 57,000 and 60,000. So our next area of interest, we said, was 56,800. 56,800 is right there. You see what I mean, guys? Look where we're overlapping. Come on, look at this. That's a square up at a critical overhead fib. Okay, critical overhead fib level. Audio is okay. All right, you guys sure? Okay. Hopefully, maybe that was just zombie. Hopefully you're back. But okay. All right. So ideally, this sucker just finds itself right up in this zone, guys. It's gonna be pretty nasty, but not that crazy at the same time. So we look at that as much as an 18% move to the top of the deep retrace. So it's all in play now. Okay, that's all in play. All in play. All right. Total. We've looked over this. I mean, the only thing you got to worry about right here on Bitcoin, the only thing, and it won't even happen until you really hit that 886 level. Yeah, it's not even really there. I was gonna say some of these assets are showing the big bat, right? But it's just not even really there on Bitcoin. Not really there. 786 cipher. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna get that play. I think this is gonna invalidate and you're gonna go. It's just too low down here. We need some stuff like this. Okay? This, it's just too low from where we'd have to, it's just not there. It's just not there. Even if we're talking about a lower low on the anchor point, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So here's another reason why we don't like it. Okay, let's look at something else. Let's go back to our Wyckoff real quick. Okay, and let's look at this on the daily. Okay, let's go to the daily. Remember, we came to the daily because we wanted to see this discernible square up right here, so we could see why we're marking 56,800. Okay, as our next area of interest here. Bonk. All right, but more so, and I forgot to show you this. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit right there. Okay, so what do we have, guys? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Before I mark it out, I'll let you think about it for a second. Quick drink. Oh, okay. So what we're looking at here is massive amounts of hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Okay, so from this island of negative momentum to the more discernible, much larger island, we go up from this previous low up to the higher low. Okay, and we also have it on the RSI. So you got hidden bullish divergence on the daily, on the MACD and the RSI, and the MACD is just barely starting to roll over green. Okay, keep this in mind. All right, I'm going to show you something in a while as we move along here, and you're going to see where the hidden bullish divergence, you saw it on the negative momentum, and you're going to see what it does to the positive island. Okay, watch this. Also, if you look at this as like a downsloping trend line, okay, like a big wedge or something, right? You could see that this is like breaking out of it. Look at this. Okay, and you're barely above the 60, which is, this is your bullish territory. Okay, so you have plenty of room to run here before you get something going on to the negative side. Okay, so plenty of room to run. All right, so yeah, daily hidden bullish divergence Bitcoin. All right, man, she's ready to go right now, isn't she? Son bitch. Okay, moving back to, where were we? Total. Look, total, even on total, you really can't see. The harmonic is just not as discernible here. Let's see. It would be like this. X. It's not bad. A. You'd actually have came way up in tight. The highest high was here. B, 50%. So this would be cipher-isk. Ooh, 113. Too bad it's not on the top side. Yeah, see, 886 shark. That's your best bet here. Would be a shark. You really don't got it. Nothing. No bearish divergence. No bearish divergence. This is exactly what you're showing on Bitcoin. Look. Where you have that breakout, and this is where I'm saying you have plenty of room to run. Bitcoin's like right here. Remember we were talking about the 60. It was just right by the 60. All right. Anyways, let's move on to ETH. Okay, on ETH. Sorry. ETH. Okay, so ETH, again, we painted that same pattern I was just trying to paint on the other assets. It's kind of there on ETH, but again, not as discernible as we would like to see, as well as because of that dang hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It could just send things, I don't know. I'm thinking more up than down. Look, we've ultimately had much higher targets. They've been up here the whole time, okay? The butterfly targets, right? These are going to be all up in this gray box. So yeah, I mean, that's been our zone. Okay, let me retarget that. Make sure. Yeah, see, I knew these were a little high. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Okay. Retargeting. Basically, the high side we want to see at this point is 6,000. Okay, that's why I knew they were a little high. Butterfly. Okay, here we go. So we're in the deep retrace. Look, if we take this whole fib, we've fibbed this from discernible swing high to low. We have the harmonics at the bottom, the reversal. Okay, came up, we painted the hidden bullish divergence here in the blue. right? We painted the hidden bullish divergence right in the middle, right? Which is kind of what happens as you reaccumulate at previous resistance levels, okay? So resistance, resistance, and then we just, boom, busted right through it, right into the deep retrace, okay? 786, 886. Now we're just, again, are we reaccumulating? As long as we stay above 3,800, this is definitely bullish, right? You'd have to, again, you have to fall out of this, back test this as resistance, and then you can kind of maybe sell back off to this previous, you know, what was once resistance over here, okay, will become support right here, and then you can rally again. That's the only thing you can really get here. I mean, yeah, of course you could completely fail, but seriously doubt that with that massive hidden bullish divergence we have on Bitcoin on the daily. And because of that, are we going to have it on ETH? Probably. Let's see it. Yeah, see? So ETH, again, just like Bitcoin, hidden bullish divergence on the, definitely on the MACD, not on the RSI. You have convergence on the RSI. Well, it depends where you're marking this from, actually, because that's a swing low here. You didn't even paint any negative momentum there. But yeah, discernible on the MACD from this point up to here. Hidden bullish divergence. From this low point, if you want to call it here on the RSI, you definitely did it on the RSI too. Don't. Okay, so yeah, and I mean, as soon as you did that, boom, you played out, right? Boom. See, Bitcoin's barely marking that. Barely marking that. Watch. On the daily, let's keep it on the daily. I'll go right back to Bitcoin. See how Bitcoin is barely marking the off. Watch. We had it marked here. Bitcoin's barely marking any positive momentum. There's your hidden bullish divergence. Barely marking any. Go back to ETH. Look how it plays out, guys. And we're barely on the first tick. That means you have a whole week to turn that. It's daily. That's a week. Imagine Bitcoin pumping for another week, right? Up only all week. Right. Let's look at ETH BTC. Okay, look at this. Boom, targets are hit on that harmonic. Imagine that. All right. Now you're going to start hitting the C targets. And the, look, you already hit that one. You hit the blue one's first target as well. So you've hit 3 of the 4 targets. Okay. The first 2 yellow lines are the previous A and C highs over here of this cipher. All right. And then the blue is the previous highs, A and C high of this shark. All right. So you're now hitting the C high, excuse me. So you figure from here, you're going to rally up to 0.082. Boom, right there on Russian Ethereum. This is ETH to BTC. And look, if I were to fib that from low to high. Yeah, look at this. Let's zoom in. So we fibbed it from high to low, and you see what happened there, right? See where we marked our line? We fibbed a 618 right on our blue box. What's that blue line? That's a top line from A. And look, it's actually smaller. We weren't even marked right. Let's mark it right over here. So C's there, A is there, okay? Now let's go back. Now look at that. Now look how tight that zone is. Okay. So this is your next target area on ETH BTC. Okay, so let me zoom out now. Geez, see, I can't even write target in there. It's too, the area's too small. We gotta write a little small target. You can barely see it. The real ones know. The real ones know what that is, okay? So all we did was we fibbed from the local swing high to the local swing low. We got that overhead 1618 golden mean ratio aligning right with that previous A high from the harmonic, looking all the way back left, okay? Now, if we can break that, okay, if you can break this and get a back above it, all right, this is gonna send you all the way up here, okay, where you're almost at 0.1 again. Remember those days? I don't know if we ever did that or not. Maybe, maybe not. This chart might not have the data. I feel like we have. Could be wrong. Whatever. It's irrelevant. We'll do it again. We'll just do it this time, right? We'll just create it. If it hasn't happened, we'll just start it now. Okay. So Russian ETH to BTC. Okay. And look, I mean, doesn't this align with we're talking about ETH, right? ETH to 6,000. So wouldn't this align with it? I feel like it would. Or it'd be getting close, right? That's how you got to get there somehow, some way. We did hit 0.11 back in the day. That's what I thought. Cool. Thanks for the confirmation. All right. Excuse me. Moving along. YFI. YFI still just kind of hanging out. So YFI, nothing crazy going on here. Plenty of room to run still. Nothing discernibly bearish. On the daily, oof. You basically got you got like this double bottom thing going on with your negative momentum. Slightly higher high on it, almost convergence. But the thing is look at the much higher levels of price, right? Look how much higher price was. So very close to hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Pretty much on all the majors, right? So love to see that. So yeah, I would imagine this is going to have follow through to the upside. You're going to find this asset above $60,000-$70,000 here in no time, as long as we don't get rugged. But no, it looks fine. Doesn't look like a rug is in play here. What it looks like is a square up is imminent. The square up, we're talking about being up here, these levels that align with our target, 72,000. Okay, that's what we're looking at. We got our double bottom. You know what's most important about this is how easy of an invalidation we have. What I mean is you can see where our stop is at this point. Look, let me stop loss. Okay, so if this is our stop loss, I'm bringing him way up here below these previous, like almost inverse head and shoulder on a lower time frame, right? We're bringing the stop way up here, which means this stop is now here. Do you see how our trade now looks? Okay, our risk to reward is 28-1 now. Our stop is basically at entry. All right, reason being is because we have this critical this white line here that was our previous resistance that we've now turned into support, right? Can you see that? And even more importantly, right, let's back it up just a little bit. Let's go back and look left. You see this orange line here, and you see this wick right here, right? You see that? All right, watch. Stick with the orange line. See how it overlaps the white line? Okay, let's keep on bringing it over. Sorry, where did it go? All right, there you go. All right, so basically you see these 2 points, right? It's the same support. What was once support before became resistance is now critical support again, and we're well above that, right? You see this where we are? So you have protection right here, these 2 overlapping lines here at 37,000. Okay, that's real protection. So your stop is basically at your entry, and yeah, I mean, it's like really safe stop. You can't really get hurt here, because if you fall below these levels and you lose this as support, right? If you lose this support, it's over pretty much. It's gonna bail way off. Excuse me. Yeah, if we lose that support, it's just gonna fall way down here and have to find support again and reset, right? So this trade is like really nice and tight, okay? Easy invalidation, massive upside. All right, you gotta have a bag of this on board at this point, okay? YFI. Okay, here we go. Litecoin approaching the 618, right? Golden mean ratio. Excuse me, just golden retrace zone, not the golden mean. That's the 1618. But look, you can see where we're targeting here. See the 1618, right? Right on that line. Okay, so show you the golden zone is between the 382 and the 618, right there. Okay, next we will have our overhead deep retrace 786, 886 levels. Okay, so Litecoin approaching 618. Just this move alone is 32%. Okay, so it's very highly likely that Litecoin finds itself somewhere up at $300 here in the next, I don't know, let's call it this week, because we're talking about Bitcoin being bullish for a week due to the hidden bullish divergence, and the way it just naturally needs to play out. Just to play out would take about a week. So let's see, you have a little window of opportunity there, Mr. Litecoin, so take advantage of it. All right, yeah, Litecoin, let's see if you got that daily hidden bull as well or not. Oh, yes, you do. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily on Litecoin. And yeah, I would say up here. We're going up. We're continuing. Number continues to go up. All right. Oh, what do you say? Where would my stop be on Litecoin from now? Oh, from right now, the stop still needs to be down here, 160. But again, depends on when you got in, right? So we've been identifying a Litecoin play since back in the 120s. Okay, so if you were an initial participant, your stop would have been below X, right? As price would have ran away from us, you would have painted the hidden bullish divergence here. Okay, that would have given you the ability to bring your stop up now to here to 130. Hidden bullish divergence gives you a double bottom. You now play out, back test what was once resistance as support, and then go, allowing your stop to now be here. Okay, so at this point, I could really only authorize a stop loss at 160. So that being said, you got to look at this. You got to go to your target now, and you got to say, okay, if I were to ape in right here, and my stop loss had to be just below 160, and my target was right here, well, not necessarily my target, that's just my next area of interest. That means I'm getting 1.12 on my money. That's basically a coin flip. That being said, you can't have a target that close. You have to at least get 2 to 1. Okay, so then your next area of interest is going to be up here. Okay, you're going to have the 786, okay, at 347, and then you'll have the 886 at 378. So you have to then take your target and go up to the next area, which is 350, and now you could say, okay, now I got a 2 to 1 trade. So if I'm going to ape in right here, I cannot take profit until I get to 350 in order for this to be an equitable trade. If I can get this all the way to the 886 and take profit at 380, I now have 2.5 to 1 on my money, and you're now even more equitable. Okay, so you got to make sure that your risk to your reward is proper. If not, maybe it's too late for you to be entering. You either need to wait for a pullback, or like we said, you need to have a high enough target like this deep retrace zone up here as your target area. Okay, just somewhere in the deep retrace zone is going to be fine to make this an equitable trade. A lot of traders have no problem with the 2 to 1 on their money, 2.2 to 1 on your money. A lot of guys have no problem with that. A lot of firms will trade 2 to 1 on their money all day. We prefer 3 to 1 because it gives you more room to breathe, but you don't always get it, right? So still not a bad trade, even going 2 to 1 on your money. Okay, moving along, we have OMG. Okay, so here's what we were saying on some of those other targets, right? Where those other assets where we said, okay, you hit the yellow targets of the lower, smaller harmonic, and now you've came up and you hit the larger purple ones, and we said if you can get above the high of the last one, you'll mark up. And look, OMG has exceeded the previous A high. Okay, and you're now marking up in price. And not only did you mark up in price, but where did you go, boys and girls? You went right to the square up. You see that square up in that circle? Boom. Okay, and look at that. And I'm almost dead perfect to it. Not only was it a square up, discernible, obvious square up, but it was a $10 horizontal line psychological round number, right? You got that $10 round number, psychological resistance level to retail, horizontal line resistance at the square up, previous resistance level looking back left, where again you basically always have kind of puked that position. Look at that. Every time it's kind of got there, puked, even here, puked. You went through it one time, and that's it. And now look where you're back at, right? See how this is pretty critical area. So now that's your next test for OMG. All right, if you're going to continue this party, you need to get above $10, okay, and regard it into support if you want to continue the party. If you hold below this, you're going to come right back down to the $8 again, and if that doesn't hold, you'll come down to $7, okay, and see where you find some support, and maybe you rally again, okay, and you do it over here. All right, so it just depends, right? But that's your next boss, right? The boss is $10 for OMG, so keep an eye on her. Let's see on the daily, if you got this hidden bull still, man, you might have it. Oh, nope, convergence, but it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. You're all right. You still have one more leg in the tank. It's not over on the daily. On the 12-hour, it's not over. Okay, so you have one more chance here at a good push, and during that push, you have to get above 10, and then just use your last push to get above 10, and then just stall there forever until you can reset, and then go again, right? That's scenario it's kind of just like scenario 1, but yeah, you just gotta use what you have in the tank as far as what kind of surge you have, momentum, right? Use the momentum you have left and see if you could go up to this next square up, which is right here at 1240, 1235 basically. Okay, Link, let's check on Grandma. Grandma, she wasn't even home. She booked a trip somewhere. Think she's just printing things. She could just book trips all over. Whatever, Grams. I see how it is. Just bounce for Labor Day. Alright, so we got Hidden Bullish Divergence clearly playing out. Let's look at it. Let's go back and look at it. Remember this one? But look at this. We wrote this down for a reason. So when we come back and do what we just did and we click on it, we'll be like, oh shit, there it is. We had not one, not two, but 3 times. 1, 2, it was like here. But yeah, it's basically three times Hidden Bullish Divergence on both the MACD and the RSI. And now you just absolutely sent, okay, from that point. So from that Hidden Bullish Divergence, you've marked up 50% in price, okay? 50% markup off the Hidden Bullish Divergence. We had a stream titled Hidden Bullish Divergence. Go back and look at the date of the stream. It was right in this double bottom. And it was called the Hidden Bullish Divergence stream, okay? From that stream, you're up something like 40, 50, 30. I mean, geez, it would have been hard to, even if you bought it on the breakout, you're up 30%, okay? So anyone that bought during the stream's up more than 30% on Link, and that's on spot. I know you degens aren't trading spot. Alright, moving along. Let's see where we are. Let's check in. We have a square up ahead, $42. Okay. Let's see if our square up aligns with anything discernible. It aligns with the 786. So we have the square up and the 786. That's kind of the next area of interest before we get into the upper deep retrace territory. Okay. Right now, you are inside of the golden zone, okay? You are approaching you're $1 away from hitting the top of the golden zone on Link, okay? Again, Grandma bought Link down here somewhere, okay? It was like 15, 14 bucks, whatever, right? Anything in this area would have been good now, right? Here's, this is basically right where we are on Bitcoin. Let's go back to it real quick, okay? So this is right where you are, right on that Wyckoff. And then when you look at something like FTT, okay, and you see this is kind of right where Bitcoin was at, all right, this area right here. Look what happens on the markup, right? So you look back at Link, here's that same point. The markup, you figure, keep watching it and it's going to end up looking like that, right? If it were to follow FTT when you go back to Link, you see how you're going to end up in this area, right? $42, $44, $45 on Link, right? From the entry, somebody holding all the way up to the 786, that's massive, right? Massive gains, okay? So yeah, Link doing good. Just keep chugging along. So far, so good. Let's see, daily Hidden Bullish Divergence. You got it? Sure do. Sure do. So, yep, this is going to continue up. Everything's going to continue up. FTT, let's see, you're the anomaly. You're just the head. You're not the... You just had the head start, right? You went first. So, right, look how we've been. So we swing high to swing low, okay? We marked out these deep retrace areas. Okay. First, we had that golden zone. Remember, we hit that golden zone. Okay, so you run up, you go through the golden zone, kind of came back, sold off a little, made 3x hidden bullish divergence into bullish convergence, and then you just marked right up into the deep retrace, blew right through that, exceeded the previous all-time high at 61 that we had right before on the previous high, right, May 10th. And then yeah, you've now hit the 1272 at $74. Okay, you're in blue sky breakout territory. What do we do in blue sky breakout? All we have are the fibs. All right, next you have the 140. Okay, so if things keep running like they are, you're going to see this asset up at 80 and then ultimately 88. Up in this area is where we might finally see FTT cooling off. Let's see real quick. Oh, yep, we can get to that. Okay, so moving along from FTT, yep, basically 80 and 88. A stop on FTT would be below this previous wick low at like 57 right here at this point. So you'd have a stop right there. Stop loss 57.50 basically. I know it's a little far away. I mean, if you want, you can use the previous high. If you want to tighten that up a little. 61, 62. I mean, you're up at 74. Ideally, this should just keep running and then just nuke. But we'll see. All right. Cowboy wants to see Tezi's. Tezi's. Here's your update on Tezi's. You've hit the 1618 perfectly. Okay, so you can see right here where we regarded the 1618 at basically $6. Okay, he sold back off and probably painted some hidden bullish divergence right here. We'll look at it. Hidden bullish divergence 3x. Can you see it? Here you go. So from this point, right, from this point to where this low is was up here. So hidden bullish divergence in play right now on Tezi's. So Tezi's is still in play. Okay, so this being said, you would have a stop loss right here. Basically below $5. Okay, stop loss below $5 on Tezos. And your target, we can go back to the fib, targeting the deep retrace zone next. Okay, so up here between 7 and 772. Okay, that's your next area of interest on Tezi's. Right there. There you go, cowboy. All right, uni, same thing. Look where you are. Critical area. Okay, we marked this last time we charted. All right, look at that. We said let's break up, let's back test this area, and then let's go. What are you doing right now, boys? You are literally at the hook. Okay, here's the break, here's the hook. Okay, now all you need is the go. Especially if and when we can break, you know, this current local overhead resistance area right here. If we can break this, we'll make it a different color. Let's make it pink. If we could break this pink area, it's gonna send. Okay, you're gonna send right to $36. Okay, stop loss would be right here. Okay, stop loss would be $25. Basically, you don't want to lose 25. Yeah, if you look back left over here, you can see this is critical overhead resistance, double top right here, that we now have gotten. It's the orange line, right? It's the orange line. Look where you are. You're right above that orange line. So that's a critical level. Okay, so a trade right here wouldn't be a bad entry. You're taking the hook, right? You're taking the hook. If your stop was below the low, that's 1.5 to 1. So let's take the next area. Okay, this is just a square up. Let's see what else we got. All right, so we'll fib this from high to low. Okay, and we'll see that square up has another 786 very close by. Okay, so if we take that 786, you'll now see that we're 2 to 1 on our money. So that's a much more equitable trade. So we're going to go for the 786, and the 786 at that point, that's our deep retrace. Okay, so anywhere in the deep retrace with a stop where we have it is equitable. Okay, so we could even raise. No, we don't want to raise that. That's a good stop. Okay, that's a good trade right there. 2 to 1 on your money, and anything into the deep retrace zone could get you as high as 2.64 to 1 on your money. Okay, so that's how you trade uni at the given moment in time. All right, moving on to the lumens, Stellar lumens. Yeah, Stellar is basically doing exactly what we said as well. We said let's break out of this downsloping trend line and let's run up into these highs, the previous ANC high of this harmonic, and you're aiming right at it. Okay, so I mean this could keep going as high as, I mean, you have a square up at 64 and then another one like at 66 or at 68. So if we fib this from all-time high to low, we have a 786, 886 retrace right there. So I would shoot for the second one. And all you're doing right now is approaching your golden zone, and you're just now getting to the 382. Okay. Looking local though, looking small things trade, he would be fibbing from here to here, and he would be taking profit right here in between the two targets on the harmonic. Small thing trading this double bottom. Yeah, he'd been targeting right here. Trading this double bottom, fibbing from high to low. You're going to target that 46. That being said, you're going to see a small pullback here, and then it'll probably be the second time where you get some kind of rally. Okay, but watch the first time for a slight pullback there, traders taking profit, and then, you know, some kind of hidden bullish divergence develops again, and then you run the second time. Okay, so yeah. Okay, sorry. Distracted. Too many monitors, too much going on. All right. Okay. So yeah, we're next looking for 44 or 47 cents on XLM. Stellar lumens. Okay. Moving along to AVE. AVE's right in that same spot. Look exactly like Stellar. Okay. Here was that previous high. We had this little downsloping trend line. Here was this previous high. Here's that downsloping trend line. Here's the breakout. Okay. So we go back. Here's the breakout. Previous high point. Okay. So previous high point. All right, so we're gonna fib this from high to low, and we're looking for this 618 or 1618, excuse me. So look for this asset to mark up to here. Okay, just next area of interest. All right, ideally we have much higher targets, which this is going to be the deep retrace, but yeah, AVE marking up. Okay, dog, what's up, dog? All right, look at it, look what's happening. You just saw this on Stellar. Okay, just local, next area of interest, 40 cents. Okay, so you have 40 cents, 41 cents, whatever this is. Okay, on the dog, and that's just on your way to what'll ultimately be the deep retrace, 60 to 67 cents. Probably looking for a final target resting place of $69,420. It's up there somewhere. Okay, meme it into existence. If you build it, they will come. All right, dodge, dog, doggy, 3 to 1. Honestly, your stop at this point could be right here. If this loses this, look, see this previous low point right where we tagged the hidden bullish divergence pivot. Okay, if you do that, then you should be fine. Look, 32.69 on your money, 69,420 on your target. Dog, Magic 8 Ball, what's up with the dog? Are we gonna moon, or are we gonna get wrecked with the full send? Magic 8 Ball has a bag of dog. All right. What do we got next? YFI. Okay, look, guys. This was basically right where you were on everything. Okay, we had our markup. We had this down sloping trend line, this bull pole, bull flag type stuff, right? Where you paint these little parallel channels. Okay. And as soon as you break that, it's like that break. You tried it once, right? Break, hook. Oh, we failed. Came back in, tested it again. Break, hook. Oh, now we got it. Full send. Okay. So this is basically where you are on. You're breaking out on a lot of items right now. Okay. We should see a markup in price across many assets moving forward. Okay. XRP, look, same thing, guys. We've marked this on everything. It's happening. Okay, this is what we marked. It's playing out. Okay, you're targeting these highs, previous harmonic highs, square ups. See you at $1.59 on XRP. Okay, see at $1.59. If you were a stop loss, you could be right here, dollar. Okay, you lose $1, get out of XRP. Until then, send it. Okay, see how much you could trail this stop all the way up, bink, until you sandwich that target. Okay, Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu. Okay, here you go. The markup is going to occur when the overhead resistance is broken. It's obvious. Look at how obvious this is. Resistance, 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 resistance. This area is key to it all. Okay? The key lies right there. Do we have a key? We should have a stupid key. I'm probably blind. First one to find the key wins. I don't see it. You know what? So not only do we not have a key, unless I'm blind, I probably am. But they also got rid of the wheelchair. You guys remember? Was it damn social justice warriors? Can't have anything nice. Can't even have a wheelchair Avi or image icon, whatever these are. Forget it. I'm done with this. How do I get rid of it? Okay. All right. So the first key, all right, the first key right here is breaking back above this heart line, okay? This yellow midpoint, okay? So if you can find your way above this, all right, and finally flip this into support again and start rallying, okay, this is going to be the key. Now when you get to this $9 area, it's not there's no more supply, okay? I know, right, Cowboy? I mean, just Ramp Capital himself should be offended. All he does is chart on their platform out of a wheelchair. All his positions are fully disabled and nothing. They remove the guy's freaking icon. It's like, geez. Give the guy one break. Everyone needs a W every now and then. Okay, so this 930 sat area here, when we get back to it, we should see a nice pop through it, okay? And then ideally you bleed back off and you end up back testing this and you just bleed sideways here for a while, okay? And then you can find your way up to, you know, much higher prices, all right? So right now, this stop loss can now be moved up to here below the wick low of the hidden bullish divergence. So looking at a trade right here on Shiba shitcoin. Oh, sorry. It's too shitty of an asset. You can barely trade. You can barely chart it. Here we go. There. So your stop would be below this previous wick low. And you'd be targeting the highs as target 1. Okay. 2.7 to 1 on your money. So this is a good trade here. Okay. From there, you could target much higher prices. And from there, you would be fibbing from high to low, and you target the 1618. Okay, so maybe you take a little bit off at 930 if you're feeling squeamish, or if you're sitting on some good profits there, or if you just can't manage to trade any further, or whatever. Take a little bit off here. Maybe you get a pullback, you can add it back on. If you don't get a pullback and you continue to run, then you'll hit your target 2. Okay, so target 1, 930, target 2, 1134. Shiba. All right. BCH, Vercoin, Roger Vercoin. All right. All right. Wonder if those guys puked all their BCH or not yet. Look, it looks like we're getting a nice rally into the middle of the day. Nothing special. Trying to catch everyone off guard. Having barbecues and shit. We're gonna pump it without you. So look, we've broken a critical area. Okay, critical area. Looking back left, we had this area marked, right? What was once previous resistance became what was once previous support became previous resistance. is now turning back into support. All right, so yeah, if this holds, you're gonna find yourself up into this golden zone, back test the 382, hit the 50, sputter, and go up to the 618, something like that, right? That's like $1,150 on BCH. Bottom of this golden zone's 870. Okay, so yeah, looking pretty good here for our Bitcoin Cash long. Never exited this, just been holding spot, so just printing money on this one. All right, Uniswap. Oh, look at this. I feel like we already looked at it. Maybe we didn't. We did. We have it twice, so I'm gonna delete it. But real quick, as long as we hold above this yellow line, we go. If you backtest this as resistance, you fail. You'll probably end up all the way back here. Okay, so as long as you hold above this, stop would be here. Okay, I'll see you up in the above $35. Okay. Sorry, where were we? Dog, YFI, XRP. This is should be green. Shiba, Bitcoin Cash, AVE. Okay, AVE. Look, we've did something very, very good. Previous support resistance area number 1 has been flipped. Okay, so this is also now your stop loss. Okay, previous support, previous resistance now flipped into support, turned stop loss. Okay, so we don't want to lose 335. Now we have these new areas up here. If you see these areas here, 1 and 2. Okay, so excuse me, be mindful of how we've been following on these harmonics. Excuse me. Okay, so think of these levels as level 1, target 1, sorry, target 1, and we're on it, and target 2, and we've hit both target 1 and target 2. So we're basically just hanging out at these previous harmonic target levels. Okay, so this being said, let's basically we need to flip these, right? We need to hold and get back above these levels, and then we can mark our way up. This is also how we eventually may get a nice 1618. Butterfly, deep crab-esque type target. Okay. Okay, let's fib from high to low, and you can see our target and the deep retrace coincide. Wham. Remember we even were talking about how targeting the middle of the deep retrace anyways. Now our deep butterfly, our butterfly deep crab falls right into it. Like, come on, bro. Oh, sorry. Had to stretch. Okay. So, this being said, you would now take a trade right here, targeting here, stop loss here, 2.25 to 1 on your money. Okay. Robotic, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Take an edge in your favor, take it, whatever happens, happens. Take another one in your favor, whatever happens, happens. And you just keep on doing it, okay? NEM. Oh, look where we are. Isn't it wonderful when you come and check back on a chart and it just, boom, up and above critical support resistance, right? Critical areas that were once support or once resistance, right? These previous resistance sell off, okay? Even again, resistance. Oh, we got through and now it's back tested as support. And now we can rally, okay? So again, easy invalidation point being right here. Okay, why am I doing that? Previous swing lows, okay? Below. I mean, you could almost do it up here, but not yet. Let's get price away from it a little bit for now, okay? Here's this downsloping trend line that we've been watching on all these assets, okay? Be broken. All right. So, good spot, right? Next area of interest right here. 28 cents. Fib from high to low. It's out in space, but whatever. It's a good square up. I like it. Let's fib from high to low. See if we got some. There we go. Right in that deep retrace. Okay. So NEM. See at like 28 cents. Okay. NEM. Shitty ass asset. Sol. Gone. Just gone. We can't even fib this. It's not even worth it. Oh, look at that. The 3618. Jesus. That's all we got. Below 161, maybe this comes back down to test, you know, previous chop here. If not, maybe previous chop right here. But yeah, I mean, pretty much just a runaway train. Pretty much just a runaway train at this point. That 3618, I guess, is semi-promising, but with everything else pumping, it's really hard for us to turn this right now. Gave it a shot and failed. I'll show you what failed. And you know what? It's not that it even... Oh, speaking of which, we have a shark at that same 3618. So that's interesting. Let me see if I could paint it again for you guys. Gosh, which one were we looking at? I'm drawing a blank, guys. Sorry. I feel like it was this. I'm pretty sure it was. But someone can correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah. Okay, so this was the cipher we drew last night. Okay. And a lot of people were saying, oh, that this didn't play out or it didn't work or whatever being the case, right? And you got to remember a couple things, okay? So in extremely bullish conditions, as this obviously is, extremely bullish, we're looking for a couple things. So one, yes, I was looking for a harmonic to reverse this trend, being number one. But number two rule is kind of like in these extreme bullish conditions, sometimes bearish patterns won't completely play out, okay? So what happened here is if you were trading this cipher, okay, your targets would have been the C and the A low, okay? So your stop would have been above X, okay? Stop would have been above X, and your entry would have been D, okay? So this is how you would have made this trade. you would have entered this position, you know, right here at the D, and gradually, you know, hopefully even like this, okay, as this sold off here and you get all the way down to this target, I mean, you either trace this stop behind it, or you just have to have layered orders. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than that, because as soon as this came down right to that basically target square up area right here, that was it. It was gone, right? So it's not that it didn't play out. It's just you got to be mindful of another thing too, right? The time frame. Look how fast this played out, and then it was over, right? So don't necessarily look at those as failures. Those are just giving you lessons in how quickly these trades have to happen, and how you got to be on point if you're trading a lower time frame. Okay, that's why swing trading the higher time frame makes it much, you know, it's easier on your just day-to-day life, right? You don't have to be watching this the whole way here. Okay, so now this is now looking like a 1618 somewhere here. Bonk. Okay, so now you've got a shark happening right here. So at some point you would say, okay, this shark, we should even fib it from here. This shark should retrace 50% of the way, giving you a retracement like this, give you a double bottom here, and maybe morph into a 5-0 and go again, giving you a double top for your next run down for the next run, okay? And again, look, you would just keep painting harmonics, right? So see what happens on this asset moving forward, but let's just keep an eye out for that. Okay, zooming out though, I don't want that on, sorry. Zooming out, yeah, we said 3618. Aside from that, pretty rolling over a bit on the positive momentum. No discernible bullish divergence yet. Let's see the daily. The daily is just completely blown out. A little bit of bullish divergence on the back end of the daily. The 8-hour starting to develop the bullish divergence, not quite. 6-hour, yeah. 4-hour, yeah. So looks like maybe with a little bit more time, you'll start to develop this bullish divergence on the higher time frames. But yeah, what a freight train, right? Just gone. And I mean, look where it took off from, guys. Look at this perfect pattern. So we had identified this way down here, and we were looking for this break. We've had that marked out for a long time. What was once previous resistance, break, hook, and go into support, and just absolutely gone, right? Absolutely gone. Parabolic price action, right? So we can look at that as well. Just absolute parabolic price action. Let's see. Something like that, huh? Okay, so when it's like this, okay, we're right here, okay? So when you see these parabolas like this, it's not that the parabola is like the most important thing here, but it is something worth noting, okay? And the further away from this, I'm not absolutely perfect with my anchor points. We have to be mindful of that. But you can see the distance between, and what will eventually be even further distance between, okay? So this parabola, the further you get away from it, the more it wants to like come back home. Basically, it wants to come back to that median point. Okay, so now that could be a sideways BART, right? Right, something like this. But eventually, you're probably gonna see it come back to that parabola. Okay. All right. So, anyways, that being said, guys, that concludes this episode of the crypto portion of the stream. Just want to run through a couple quick stonks we've been looking at. Okay, so this one is called OI Glass. We had a nice double bottom. We're approaching the overhead resistance. Okay, so what we're looking for here now is a run up, breakout, back test, and go. And this will just be our initial measured move. Okay, we'd be looking for much higher prices actually than this. We're looking for, that's kind of our golden retrace zone. Ideally, if we can get it though, let's see if we can get this to push up into the deep retrace area before everything's said and done. So what we'll be looking to do here is on this breakout, wherever we come up, let's see what kind of top we find here. Maybe we take partial off. As we come back down, we're looking for this back test, and on this back test, okay, we look to maybe even add on to our position from this. Just depends where I'm at when this happens and if I catch it. But ideally, we want to move this stop up to this next level, okay? So when we do that, that's going to allow us to let this trade run, okay? So let's see if we can get even higher prices than this initial little 10% move, okay? That is OI Glass. Oh, this kind of goes right off of the Bitcoin that we were watching here. So this is grayscale GBTC, right? A lot of people are going to be looking at this big gap down here, okay? So this big gap below us, right? Yeah, it's pretty nasty, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people are probably saying, okay, let's get a retrace down here and look to buy this dip here, okay? But I don't know. It just feels like the gap that we're going to get is actually this one, okay? And that's up at target number 1, okay? So it's looking a lot more like this, especially with that daily hidden bullish divergence. And speaking of which, we're on the daily right now. So let's see how we're looking here. Yep, there it is. GBTC, 1 day, hidden bullish divergence, okay? So there's your lower low on the positive momentum, and you have a much higher low on price. You're above this kind of critical area here. So as long as we can hold that line, we should see a markup in price over the next few days on GBTC, okay? For the old stonk portfolio. Get some stonk exposure to Bitcoin as well. INSG in Seago Corp. Okay, we have a nice low here, nice double bottom at the lows. So good area, easy invalidation, right? Quick invalidation. If this falls, if this just falls out and we lose this area, right? We're going to invalidate the position very quickly. And if not, we have massive amounts of upside. Massive amounts of upside potential in play here, with targets as high as 67% from this current position, right? You can ape in right now, targeting just the measured move with a nice tight stop. Oops, sorry, wrong tool. Not the short tool, the long tool. Okay, so 4 to 1 on your money right there, just to the measured move. All right, and again, we all know that we've been on a lot of these trades getting into the deep retrace which exceeds the measured move, right? So we know that this is definitely, you know, in play, right? And even the measured move doesn't even hit the gold top of the golden zone, right? So you'd still have targets up and beyond that. So INSG, RNG, ring central, same thing. Easy invalidation below the lowest low here. So we can bring this down here below the low. Easy invalidation point, targeting a nice high measured move. This gives you a massive potential upside here, and you have a dip in play, right? You're looking at a red candle, so you can buy that dip, and 6 to 1 on your money. Okay, 6 to 1 on your money on ring central with a nice easy invalidation. Okay, just keep taking these plays in your favor. Okay, just robotically. Kirkland Gold, KL. This I think is like, these guys make like, I don't know. Maybe this is gold. Okay. Makes sense because we're actually going to go over a gold chart and we're bullish that. I thought this is like the butter company. See, I don't really give a shit what they make or do. Okay. So here we go. We have a nice quick stop. Okay. At 37.50. Okay. Nice quick stop loss. You have been rallying the past couple of days of actual price action. So stops in tight, target up high, 3 to 1 on your money. And that's after 2 days of bullishness, okay? So that is KL, Kirkland Gold, targeting 55. You don't want to see price below 38, 37.50, okay? Riot Blockchain, again coinciding with Bitcoin moves. Riot Blockchain, more Bitcoin blockchain exposure in the traditionals. We keep painting higher low. Sorry, we keep painting higher high, higher low, higher high, slightly higher high, higher low. So looking to paint a higher high than these previous candles. Okay, so this is our next area. We're kind of just chopping sideways here. Stop loss can be probably right there. You don't want to lose 30. Pretty tight. Back testing previous support. Tight stop. 3.7 to 1 on your money. There you go. Neo Corporation. The Neo Consumer Vehicle Group. Whatever these fucks are. Alright, so we got a higher low painting, okay? So good, nice, obvious, discernible neckline, right? Where we have previous resistance, broke through, failed, backtest as resistance again, massive amounts of overhead resistance, but we keep testing that supply zone, right? So now, as we run up to back to the supply zone again, this is where we want to see the break, the hook, the hold, and go, right? So if we can get it this next time, that would be nice. And if that's what's in store, well, look at this fucking epic entry you're staring at, right? So boom, stop could even be right where you are, but let's wait. For now, you can at least have it here, 2.3 to 1 on your money. Eventually though, we will bring this stop up, okay? But for now, we're going to keep it down there, okay? Neo. Alright, here's a gold play. So this is what we were looking at with gold. Discernible, obvious double bottom. Stop below the double bottom, okay? Easy invalidation point. You don't want to see price fall below these two previous swing low points, okay? Nice double bottom here. We got a obvious neckline, right, where previous resistance. So ideally we come up here, we find a neckline here, we break above that, we rally again, maybe you stutter, break it, back test it, and you rally to our target, $30. Okay, look at the entry you're staring at this point. Easy invalidation. Okay, first first level area of interest is already 2.3 to 1 on your money, and even that is nowhere near our actual inevitable, our inevitable target here. All right, so boom, second target, 5.64 to 1 on your money, 2.34 to 1 on your money. Equitable trades, tight invalidation. This is how you win. Okay. Moving along, PayPal. We have a parabolic asset on the verge of going parabolic. Okay. So we've been watching this. Let's see if it's time, right? I bet you got that hidden bullish divergence right there on the daily. There it is. Okay. From the all-time low over here to the higher low. All right. You painted much lower levels of negative momentum. Higher low on price from that low point. Okay. Higher low on price. Hidden bullish divergence starting to play out. Okay. So yeah, you hit the first target, pull back. So this target's kind of dead. Next area of interest, it's at this point it's more here. Look at this, obvious X point. Okay, so let's get at least to there next. Okay, so that's previous resistance, right? We want to see this broken, back tested as support, and then you'll rally all the way up here. Okay, 362 on PayPal. All right, here we have Gopro. So Gopro, you're finding yourself painting a double bottom, higher low. Okay, everything's showing convergence in your direction. Okay, so as long as this holds, you're okay. Ideally, we want to see this rally up back to this previous, right, overhead resistance, break above it as support, and then rally onto the highs. Okay, if and when we start to see this price action rally away from us, we're going to tighten this stop up to this below these low points. Okay, but a little early, right? We're a little too tight, so we're just building our long position here. Okay, building this long position, and right now your stop can be here. Okay, so 3.5 to 1 on your money. Eventually that's going to be a real tight trade like this, 12.5 to 1 on your money as soon as you can do it. Okay, right now 3.5 to 1, we'll take it all day. All right, EA Sports, it's in the game. All right, look at this. Let's just zoom in real quick here. Okay, so I'm going to show you something kind of just in here tight. Okay, before we zoom out. So what we're looking at right here is just our conventional double bottom, right? We're always looking for this double bottom where, you know, we had this initial low on price, we have a higher low on price, we have this overhead resistance. We're butting upon this resistance. Okay, so ideally we're going to see this break, this hook, and this go up to this measured move target area, right? 169. And what did we do there? All we did was take our measured move from the low to the neckline, and we copied it and we cloned it, we pasted it up here. Okay, so this would be our next area of interest, our measured move. Okay, so just taking a trade right now initially, somebody could take this up to the top. You could look for this as 1.6 to 1 on your money already. Okay, now we zoom this out and you can see this is part of a bigger picture here. Okay, so when we break above this area that we're talking about, we got to bring this back all the way over here. We got to realize the significance of this. So in all reality, we got to look at this, zoom out sometimes. Okay, so when we break this, this could go all the way to our first target right away, fall back on this as support, critical, right? Critical, what was once extreme resistance would now be support, and then you'll rally to much higher prices. Okay, so this is an epic kind of entry point potentially, right? Even if you get a small pullback here, buy the dip, right? Because you can see massive markups here. EA Sports in the game, right? Everything is online right now, right? Video games galore. PD. PD. What is this? PagerDuty. See, I don't even know what this asset is, but we were in it. PagerDuty. As soon as we broke what was once critical overhead resistance, we marked up in price, aiming right at our target, $54. PagerDuty. How long have I been trading? Since 2010, so 12 years almost. Okay, here you go. XABCD pattern on Shake Shack. Alert, alert, alert. Sound the alarm. First target, CNA highs. Second target, previous highs. Third target, new highs. Low, stop loss below the X of anchor point of the harmonic. You have upside for days on Shake Shack. Add this to the portfolio. Long-term hold. Got you in at 82. I'm gonna get you out at 129. Right? Shake Shack. What do I believe BTC will do? We could hit it once last time before we call it quits here. Sorry, let's see. Okay, moving along. Sorry, distracted again. All right, next one we have is Mo Money. Again, look, previous critical resistance levels, right? Being broken out of and back tested previous 2 days price action. Okay, so on Mo, if you can just hold this $50 level, okay, likely you'll mark up to $55, which is the 1414 and the measured move coinciding area. Okay, so that's a good 10% move from here on Mo. Tesla Motors. All right, that's it. I'm after Michael Burry's entire stack on this one. So we entered a long time ago, way down here when everyone was calling for 500. We bought 550 and said send it from there. Okay, so we have now hit the A target. All right, the A target has been hit. Next target is going to be right here, the C target of our swing point of our harmonic, previous 1414 at 170. Excuse me, 770. So if we can get above this level and we can hold above this, we will go straight to 850. Okay, and liquidate Burry. All right, Hog. I didn't mark this one out yet. I wanted you guys to just see what I see here. So, all right, it's kind of tricky because this one's got this huge gap here, all right? And so many people love the gap, right? Screaming, oh, but my gap. I see your gap, right? And I see that we basically tapped the top of it, right? I see that we did not fill it. Can we just quickly wick down and fill it and then run? Sure, but you do have massive amounts of support here you're sitting on, and excuse me, fibbing from the low point. Let me back out so you can see where I fibbed from. The low to high, you're sitting right on the 618. Okay, so if you lose the 618, okay, you're gonna come all the way to this down. If you lose this, you can come all the way down here. All right, so it's an interesting point, right? So you have two options here. You can wait for more data and see if you get further away from this and buy a little higher, right, for a long, or you can wait to see if you lose this and layer down here, right, in the deep retrace zone. trying to just catch a dip, right? But you can also take a long here right away with an extremely tight stop, because look how tight your stop can be. You basically you'd be wrong immediately, okay? So targets being way further up, see what I mean? You can have a 12 to 1 stop on nothing, right? Even on just an easy little square up. See this previous square up here? You can still have 7 to 1. So there's ways to play stuff like that, okay? So keep an eye on that. It's on the daily. So when you zoom into the 4 hour, you see how, I mean, it just becomes a much easier way to play it. But again, watch the gap. I'm not going to say it can't happen. It's at an interesting level, okay? It's at a point where volatility is imminent on this asset, okay? So we'll keep an eye on her. I do not have a position yet in hog, just on the radar at this point. Same thing here for Intel. Looking at a possible position here, just on the radar. But again, stop would be right here, okay? Really tight stop. And you're basically painting some inverse head and shoulders-esque price action, right? Gosh, it's like so small. I can barely grab it. Okay, so this is what you would be looking for if you were building a bullish position here, okay? Even if you brought this up. All right, so you have this like neckline definitely developed here. And you do have a gap that coincides with where this target would aim, all right? So, see that? So, there's one in where was one against you. There's now one in your favor. But yeah, anyways, you're just looking for this. You want to see inverse head and shoulders-esque price action first. And then next, you're going to butt up to this next area of interest. It's almost like this whole down sloping trend line, right? Would happen at that same point. As well as like a vertical horizontal support line resistance, okay? So you'd want to see something like this as well. And then that's if and how you would fill that gap, all right? With a tight invalidation at basically $51. Okay. Apple hit the target Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Apple hit the target of the measured move. Okay. So we had a Bukowski double bottom, measured move here. This comes from down here. Okay. This was just more of a local. It's more like this. Okay. So from low to the neckline, once we broke out, we went right straight to that measured move, okay? And it was basically like butterfly-esque. X, A, B, C, D, okay? Apple, measured move, hit. Dell, okay. Critical on Dell. You might see new all-time highs if this breaks, right? So we have this obvious neckline, okay? Obvious neckline. Extremely bullish price action here on Dell. We have inverse head and shoulders price action in development, okay? So here's that same measured move. We just saw this on Apple, okay? Where we take this low to this neckline. We clone it, we bring it up here. I could also fib from high to low, and there's a 1618 up there as well. Okay, so next area of interest on Dell would be this area up here. All right, so if you were taking a trade, your stop would be right there. Below 90. And you'd be entering like this. Okay, so 2.77 to 1 on your money. New all-time high, blue sky breakout on Dell. Ideally, you come up, you breach, you backtest, you go. Okay? Dell computers. FISA Permanente. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. We were way out. This one might have been 3-day. Yep. So look, guys, this is exactly what we just said on Dell. Okay? Here it is. You're at blue sky breakout territory on an asset that is fundamentally bullish. Everyone's buying computers. Everyone's being force-fed vaxes, right? So they're printing products. Here's your measured move from high to low. Boom, boom. Fib it even. Fib it. Fib it. There's your target like that. This is exactly what we just painted on Dell. Hit rewind. YouTube works as a DVR. There it is. Boom. We zoomed out on this one. Okay. Much higher time frame, but same thing. Okay. Same thing. Pfizer. $55 to $60. Okay, let's go back to the daily. This is Sunrun. Solar. They have just started carrying Enphase product. Bullish. Alright, sorry. Okay. Here we go. Nice little move on Sunrun here. Okay. Stop loss right now would be below 37. Don't want to see price below 37. Next target, measured move, 77. Stop loss here, 3.62 on your money. Sunrun. Yeah, looks good, boys. OGI. Here's another one. Can you see it? Stop loss below the discernible swing lows. Okay. We have double bottom-esque price action structure in development. Boom, boom. Okay. So looking at a possible breakout here. And we have not much of a neckline. It's more here. Okay, so let's see if we could break here and get up there. OGI. Okay. OGI. Plug. It's our favorite asset, Plug. Just kind of hanging around the entry. Let's set a stop loss on Plug. Stop loss on Plug. If you were to not have any Plug on you right now and you wanted to, this is how it would look from here. 3 to 1 on your money. 3 to 1 on your money. Bed Bath Beyond. Again, just a very discernible invalidation. Sometimes you just punt these longs, okay? You just punt one and you hope to sweep some highs. You got a quick invalidation, 3 to 1, okay? Sometimes you just punt one, all right? So let's move back up to BTC. We're above 51,000. We are now at 52,000. All right. Anything above 51 was a full send. So she's in progress of sending. I'll see you at 56.8. sorry. So yeah, 56,800 on BTC. Yeah. Let's see, GRT. Oh, GRT, same story, different assets. Inverse head and shoulders-esque price action in development. Discernible neckline, back tested. I mean, you could get as picky with that as you want, but something like that. Okay. Measured move from low to neckline. Something like this. Next area of interest, $1.23. Okay. I'm not saying it can't go up more from there, but you're going to find, look at this. Look back left. Okay. Critical resistance. Critical resistance. Okay. Makes sense why your target is where it is. It's going to be right before you hit some nasty little resistance areas. Get a small pullback, chop around, get back above that. That's how you get on to higher prices. Okay. Oops. There's GRT for you. Okay. Cool. I think that's pretty much it for now, guys. We caught ourselves up on a lot of coins, and the whole time Bitcoin's pumping. So you gotta love it, right? So, yep. See how this plays out, but we're in phase E. Phase E is the send it to the next area of interest, which is 56,800, and yeah. So that's where we are in the process of doing. So let's just get one quick check from the magic ball. 56,800. Yay or nay? Buy more right now on the breakout, according to the magic 8 ball. Buy more. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the stream. Catch you back in the Discord. Duck out. Peace.